Mike, would you explain? You told me about this whole thing with gambling and even the NFL, like just basically how it goes. And I don't know, I can't remember if it was college sports or NFL, but explain like the NBA. Does that shock you?
It doesn't shock me at all. I woke up Thursday morning to a firestorm of this, but I was recruited back in 1995, 1994, actually. I was finishing up my prison sentence, and all the leagues came to the prison and recruited me to speak to athletes. We did a video.
Yeah.
They said, Mike, you claim you turned your life around. We have a big problem with pro sports. And I had a lot of bookmakers working for me. We had athletes gambling with us. They said, come and talk to our athletes because we don't want this, hurting the league as much as it's hurting it now. So I started with them in 1996 after we did the video,
Hmm.
and I've been doing it for the last 30 years. I mean, that's how intense it got. I do all the pros, and then in 1998, the NCAA jumped aboard, and they said, "Mike, would you come on and speak to our student athletes?" And I've spoken at probably 300 universities over the years, Division I and II. So, and basically, I just listen. Athletes like to gamble. Many of them get in trouble. A lot of them get, pretty much addicted to it. It's an extension of their competitiveness, and a lot of them get in trouble. And unfortunately, at one point in time, we took advantage of that. I did personally, and organized crime is going to continue to do that. So this wasn't a shock to me, not at all.
So, wow. So when you were away, when they came to you, like you say, what happened when you were away? And Jesus, or did you become what happened and made you so when you came out, you were able to talk to people?
Well, let me tell you, Jim, the reason I walked away from that life, a lot of people don't understand. I had a lot of friends in that life, and I was a made guy, and I was totally into the life. I was a mob guy, no question. But what people don't understand, the life is very destructive to families. I don't know any family of any member of that life that hasn't been totally destroyed, including my own. Now, not my wife and kids. I've been able to prevent that. But my mother, 33 years without her husband. When she passed away in 2012, I can only describe her relationship with my dad as being ugly because she blamed him for everything that went wrong, rightfully so. My sister dies of an overdose of drugs at 27.
Hmm.
My other younger sister was never mentally stable because of all the turbulence we went through throughout my life. She dies at 40. My brother was a drug addict for 25 years. Can't even begin to tell you, what I had to do just to keep him alive on the street. So the whole family was really destroyed. I was the only one that survived. And every family of every member of that life, same thing. So now I meet this young girl. I fall in love with her. She's 20, 21 years old. I said, am I going to put her through the same thing? Because remember, I'm a major target. I was indicted 7 times. I went to trial 5 times. I had 2 federal racketeering cases, 1 state racketeering case. They were never going to leave me alone. It was only a matter of time. I knew I wasn't invincible, even though I kept winning. I'm going to go down. And when I go down, they're going to put me away for 50 years.
Right.
So the life was in trouble with that RICO statute that came in. A lot of guys becoming informants. The government just had all the techniques. And I said, this is not for me. I got to try to make a break.
Their
And
gang
that's
got
what happened.
bigger. Yeah, their gang got bigger.
It got bigger and more sophisticated, and we didn't keep up with them.
So when you like what do you talk about when you have these kids? Do you warn them? What are you talking to them about?
I tell them straight out, how they're going to get in trouble, how guys are going to try to use them, how they're going to make them suckers.
How do they use
You
them? Like where's it even start? If I would Yeah, like how's it even start?
I mean, you go to the pros and the college kids, a little bit different um, in the approach. But you got to understand, a lot of people think that mob guys have to go up to a pro athlete, put a gun to his head, and say, "Hey,
Right.
you're going to work for me. Yeah,
Right.
you're going to work for me, or we're going to kill you."
Right. Right.
It
Right.
doesn't happen that way.
Right.
We go to the same clubs they go to. We hang out in the same places. We get to know them. A lot of them like to be around us. You know, we're party guys. We go out, we have a good time, we buy them a drink, we send them a couple of women, we get friendly. A lot of these guys, remember, they came from the streets. They're not afraid of us. You know, we get form relationships. And then you get some of them that they're gambling with our bookmakers. Before you know it, they're in a lot of trouble. They owe a lot of money. Remember, a pro athlete, Jim, they don't get high by gambling $1,000 or 10 grand. Guys that are making 25 million a year, they're betting big money. And
Right.
before you know it, yeah, they're in the hole $5, $6, $7, $8 million. How are they going to make it back?
Oh,
You know?
my
Yeah.
God. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. You know, how are they going to make it back? They're not going to make it back in their sport.
Right. And you know,
They come with us.
and it's like you said, what people, I mean, what Michael is saying, you guys treat them in the kid. When I watch Goodfellas, I'm like, oh my, I want to be in there. I want to walk in like, hey, Jimmy, you gonna win the game for us today? Jabbo, look at this guy. Sit down. Yeah, go send him around. Who you with? Go sit down. That feels good.
Exactly.
That feels good. And you know there's some gorilla sitting next to you like, don't worry about it. Let them get excited. Let them get excited. Don't worry about it. We got you. Don't worry about what that guy says. We got you. That's a good feeling. Some people get very addicted to that.
You described it perfectly. And guys wanted to be around. You know, they want to be around. So you form relationships with them. What a lot of them don't understand, though, that relationship is good until you owe us money. You owe my bookmaker money, you're going to pay us back. We're going to figure out a way, you know?
Right.
And because the business of organized crime, you know, Jim, I've said this, prohibition, the government is what made Cosa Nostra Mafia strong in this country, in prohibition. Before that, when the Italian guys came over here in that life, they were street guys trying to make a living, you know, extorting some of their own people, doing a little drug business at the time. They weren't making money.
Right.
Boom. Prohibition comes in, bonanza. Guys made hundreds of millions of dollars, Capone and all of them. Now we have an organization. But what happened? That only lasted 10, 11 years. That was gone. I was in the gas business. I was defrauding the government out of tax on every gallon of gasoline. Made a lot of money. Went to jail for that eventually. But I had an 8-year run. That was gone. Gambling always has been, always will be the major source of income for the mob. They love it. They know how to run it better than anybody else. They're sophisticated, and they're going to do it the wrong way when they have to. Where the government has to do it the right way, and all these legit places have to do the right way. We don't have to do that. When I say we, my former associates, want to make sure everybody knows that's not me anymore.
I tell stories. It's just stories. Come on, it's YouTube, entertainment. Right. Yeah. So good. But so tell people, now they owe you millions of dollars. Like what happens now?
Give you an example. I had 11, 12 bookmakers that worked for me in Brooklyn, Long Island, back in my day, right?
Yeah.
So we have a bookmaker, and this happened more than once, I can tell you that. We have a guy, let's just use the Jets. We have a Jet player. He's gambling with my bookmaker. My bookmaker calls me up. He says, hey, Mike, guess what? This guy's into me for 50 grand. Do you want me to cut him off? And I said, why would you cut him off? I said, all you're doing is writing an entry on a piece of paper. You give him credit. Don't cut him off. Let him get into you for 250, 300, 400. Keep it rising, and then bring him to me. Now he brings him to me. I sit down in my office with him. Hey, you didn't understand. This is my company. This is my guy. I'm your partner. I'm his partner, rather. So how are you going to pay me? Well, you know, I don't have the money. What do you mean you don't have the money? You got a rich uncle. You got a grandfather. Go rob a bank. I don't care how you pay me, but you got to pay me, right?
I don't mean to laugh.
You got to pay me.
Oh my God.
And you know, now the guy's getting nervous. So I say, listen, I'm going to give you a break. I love your team. I like the way you play. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to pay me 2% or 3% on the money that you owe me. You're going to bring it to me in cash every Monday, and don't miss a day. You got a break. Now the guy just wants to get out of the room. But what does he do, Jim? What does he do? He's a gambler. He goes to another bookmaker in another part of town, and he figures, okay, let me try to win here so I can pay this guy off, right? We know because we have a network there. We know who's going where.
You're calling each other. He's coming to your place right now. Okay, all right.
So now he's in for 7, 8, 9, $1 million. So now he comes back, and I sit him down again. I said, hey, I know what you're doing. Now you got to pay me. What are you going to do? And he's there, and I said, no, I'm going to solve this problem for you. You're a quarterback? First 3 times you get that ball, you put it in the hands of the other team. You're a running back. First 3 times you get it, put that ball on the ground. You're a wide receiver. You get that ball, you tip it into the hand of the defender. I'll worry about the rest, and I'll tell you how long you're going to do this, how many games you're going to do this. When I'm satisfied financially, then I'll let you go. But the answer is you never let them go. You never let them go. That's reality.
It is reality. I remember. Did you ever? And now, when they come in there, do they think like, oh my god, are they going full blown movie? They think their legs are cut. Dude, I would drop it. Oh my god, there's no ad. There's no ad left. All right, let me ask you this. Go ahead, answer. Sorry,
No, I'm saying they're nervous. They're not happy to be there. That's for sure.
Michael. Can I ask you this? Usually, the kids you get, what kind of are they? Are they grounded? Are they like a little? You could tell. You could tell we can work this one rather than certain ones. Which ones usually fall for it? Is there a particular group? You know what I mean? Like this guy had no dad growing up, or this guy was a little bit of trouble, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah, let me tell you a sadder situation because we had our marks. When you go to the college level, these kids like to party. They don't have much, especially back in my day. So you buy them a drink, you send a girl, you make them feel important. Hey, I love your team. I love everything about you. Give you another example. You got a senior, he plays basketball for one of the colleges. I'm not going to mention.
Sure.
You get to know him a little bit. He comes in the same club. They love to party. Then one day I sit him down. I say, hey, you're a pretty good player. You know that? But you're 6'2". You're not going to the pros. You know that, right? Yeah, I know. How much money you got in your pocket? Oh, I'm broke. You're broke. Every time you play, they fill that arena, 16,000 people. They're making money on you, and you're broke. I hear your mother's driving an old jalopy. Your girlfriend is pregnant. What are you going to do? I don't know, man. Let me tell you what you're going to do. I'm going to help you. I'm your best friend right now. Let me tell you what you're going to do. Tomorrow night, you're favored to win by 10 points. Don't win by 10. Win by 7, win by 8. I don't want you to blow the game. We love your team. Don't cover the spread. You do that, and here's the number, Jim. I pull 10 grand out of my pocket. I push it across the table. I said, that's yours. You did this for me 10 times, you got 100 grand. Who's better than you? Nobody's going to know it. But don't lose the game. Very hard for them to resist. Very hard. But here's what's happened, Jim, and this is the sad part.
Yeah.
As an athlete, it's harder for you to underperform than it is to do your best. Why? You're a young guy. You got the whole team looking at you. Your coach, your teammates, the whole arena is looking at you, and you're messing up in your mind. It gets to you. So after 3 or 4 games, they come back. Hey, Mike, you know what? I got 30, 40 grand. This is more money. I'm great. I can't do this anymore. But my response is, what do you mean you can't do it? No, we made a deal. You shook my hand. Unless you want to go talk to your coach, tell him how you've been playing the last couple of games. Want to tell your mother and your girlfriend, they'll be proud of you, right? You want to go to the cops? I don't care. I'll bail out the next morning. You're done when I tell you you're done.
Oh my
That's the
god.
problem. So this is what I tell these kids. Once you allow somebody to get their hooks in you, they own you. So you have to be very careful. If somebody's buying you a drink and getting a little bit more friendly, you got to ask why.
Always.
If somebody's trying to give you something, you got to ask why. Why are these people? You got to put a shield around you to protect your career and to protect yourself personally. And they listen. They're not aware of that, Jim. They're not aware of that until somebody wakes them up and says, hey, because now I said, listen, I don't want you to be paranoid, but everybody that comes around you that's trying to give you something for free, you got to check it out because you got a career to worry about.
Right.
That's it. It's effective.
You know, I was talking with an 80s baseball player, and I don't want to say who or whatever or what teams he played for. Some of my diehard fans were like, well, he had to be the one team Jim loved. But I remember him telling me one time, and they were actually, I shouldn't say this part. He was telling me just what you said. He goes, we go out, but you're not sure if you're going to make it. You're not sure if you're going to get re-signed. So you do have all these worries. And then, they meet you guys. And hey, blah, blah, blah. Do me a favor. Just have a sloppy day at second base tomorrow. And he goes, and the scariest part was they'd always be in the front row right by the dugout.
Yeah.
It's just, how you doing? Billy, you with us today? Fake name people. Billy, through the legs? Like, oh my God. Like, the terror of standing there while you guys are right there and you're calling my name and and what you hit a point on is your teammates, even your parents and coaches, there's some people that know you, oh, dude, you fell for that. You're throwing us under the table. So he's in a no-win situation. He's in a no-win situation. Wow.
Yeah, he's in a bind. As soon as you and that's what I tell him. I said, listen, nobody's going to come and put a gun to your head and say, you better do this or we're going to kill you or we're going to break your legs or put you in the hospital. Not going to happen that way. You're going to fall into it on your own because you're not paying attention. You're soaking up the glamour that they're giving you and the gifts that they're giving you. And before you know it, you put yourself in a real trick bag, a real bind. So you got to have your antenna up and your radar up. And I the other day I was on a show and Kurt Schilling was on with me.
Oh yeah.
And the way and Kurt opened it up. He said, Michael, I remember you when you came into the clubhouse and the things that you said really opened my eyes and made me watch everybody around me. It really saved me. He said, because people were making advances. He said something to that effect.
Wow.
So, so it has an impact when somebody that's been there and done that and admits to the fact that I did this to you. I did this to your colleagues way back when, your teammates. I know what I'm talking about. It's effective.
Well, I think you're helping a lot of human beings. And I really appreciate that you're doing that. And I know a lot of people, and to me, if we can get that knowledge, and because Kurt Schilling also was like, I don't know, but he was like a God guy, which is another thing. If you're based and you have that warning from someone like you that's lived it and all that, there's nothing more empowering in the world. So thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
I just, hey, you know what, Jim, I'm a very fortunate, very blessed guy to be alive and to be free because all my former associates, they're either dead or in jail for the rest of their life. And I've given my freedom and I'm very fortunate. So, you give back and it feels good when people are paying attention and maybe, you help people out. And I get a lot of, nice comments from people. And so it keeps you going, as long as you're doing the right thing and it's effective, it keeps you going.
Michael, I can't thank you enough for popping on and telling people the way this is done and how easy it happens and the way it goes. And hopefully you just changed a lot of lives out there. And I'm sure you did. Parents with their kids and all that. So thank you, Michael. Safe journey.
Well, thanks for having me, Jim. I appreciate any time. You got my number.
Yeah, man. I'll hit you up when I'm in LA. Take care.
That's for sure. All right, man.
Take care, brother. Michael Franzese.